Hello and welcome to episode number 8. So glad to have you here. In this episode, I'm going to put together the keys, the soul-based keys for freedom that you have got through all the other episodes and the messages from the soul cards. Remember soul and ego messages? So this is the episode to put all of these together. If you are listening to us on podcast, please make sure that you get the link to this video. We have shared it. It's on the description area. So please make sure that you come to the video so you get the visuals. It's very important. Yes, we had podcast and also the video channel. So get this very valuable information. And for those of you who already have watched all the videos from episode number 1 to episode number 7, and you have got all these keys, we wonder what kind of experience you have had applying the keys. Is it one key, applying one of those keys have been easier than another key? Please make sure that you leave your comment. It is very valuable to read your comments. We really want to know how you're going with this. The reason why Byron and myself were doing this podcasting, this video broadcasting, is so that we can support you. And the best way to support you is also by knowing how you are progressing. So we want to rate you. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's recap. Soul-based keys for freedom. We chose equanimity as number 1 because equanimity of your mind can really lead you to being present. So this is key number 2, being present. So this is so that you can really be present to who you truly are, which is your source, soul, right? And by doing that, you can apply key number 3, which is to follow through your intuition. Your intuition is the voice of your soul. And also that lead us to key number 4, which is to exercise discernment so you can tell who is talking to you. Because at any given time, literally, you either can have your soul talking to you, you can have the ego structure posing as your soul. That's why you have to exercise discernment. Or it's just pure ego talking to you. And depending on who you listen to, you will have a different kind of result. We shared that on episode number 7, where we talked about love. And depending on what kind of results do you want to create, and especially when you create based on your authenticity, being your true self, not ego posing or not ego imposing, right? Your result will be very different. And of course, when you choose from love, which is key number 6, your result will be resonating at this level, and your experience and the experience of those around you will also be very different. And the keys go hand in hand with the messages, soul and ego, that remember that Byron picked these messages. And on our first broadcast, we had this message. Hang on, let me get them all. This is actually from the one of the first episodes. If you haven't watched it, please go to them. I will leave the links to all these episodes also in the description area. So please make sure that you get all of this. It will make a lot of sense. And we put this together. I will read them again because it's very valuable information. Remember that one of the first cards the set of cards that was picked was about responsibility. Because for most part, responsibility or the relationship that we create with responsibility may not have had been one of the greatest. And we want to give you tools, information, so you can turn these things around. Because we are at a very critical point for our humanity where the call is for us who resonate with the message to step up and be our true selves, which is love. Okay, key number 6. And on this episode, we talk about how at any given moment you can either resonate in the essence of love, or you can resonate in the essence of fear, which actually comes from ego. And being able to respond to any kind of situation, especially when you respond, responsibility, able to respond from the vibration of love, you create a much healthier, enjoyable, beautiful form of interacting with others. I will read the message from ego. And ego says about responsibility, it's hard, I can't do it. Later, not now. Are phrases I whisper to your ears so you won't assume your own responsibility. Yes, I inspire you to shift your responsibility onto people who are neither capable nor the best choice to do the thing you are more than capable to do. I don't want you to be responsible. I inspire chaos and pain in your life. You choose. That's a message from ego. And soul says, beloved, we encourage you to shift your perception about responsibility. Rather than thinking of it as a way to get things done, think of it as a key that opens doors of possibilities and new realities. Response plus ability is simply that, responsibility. It's your ability to respond with integrity, which is love, to any given moment or situation. Respond in alignment with your true self, which is source, your divinity. And when you do so, you will see a completely different cascade of events flowing in your life. So please release the distorted view on responsibility that only gets you to not be responsible for yourself. It is not about doing or achieving. It's about being. Being. You are love. Okay. Then the second card that came for you, these are actually messages for you, picked by Byron. And this is about harmony. Okay. And really pay attention to this, the drawings. Let's see what ego says about harmony. Is it throughout millennia on Gaia or on Earth, we have trained well humans to be reactive, to think and feel with their gut, to be visceral in the response. And of course, the results can never be the best for anyone. And I'm going to make a pause here and ask you, what has been your experience about when you have responded viscerally? Please ponder upon this and let's go. So we keep chaos and discord on Earth by inducing gut-felt reactions. These kind of reactions nulls the ability to connect heart or soul and mind. So we make humans less intelligent by doing this. However, you are the one to choose your desire and align outcomes. So true. Let's see what soul says. And it says, beloved, engaging your lower energy centers. That's why we have the drawing here of the lower chakras. Yeah? Engaging your lower energy centers in order to respond or generate a solution only works when you can raise their vibration, transmuting the quality of their emissions. I'm making a pause here. So, you know that our energy centers do emit information in the form of vibration. And this energy, this information, this vibration that we send out, it is read or decoded by those around us. You know, our physical bodies are more than just physical bodies, and we don't have just physical bodies. We have our mental body, emotional body, we have an etheric body, we have the body of will, etc. So our bodies decode that information. That's why sometimes when you're in the presence of someone who is telling you to your face that the person is there for you, is there to make a difference in your life, is there to serve you, but this person is really not being honest and is tuned with a lower vibration, say a lower agenda, you will be able to decode that and know that that person doesn't have your best interest in mind or heart. Even that person may not even have a heart. And I say that, meaning that person may not even have a soul or may have disengaged from soul. That's why that person can be deceiving and may want to act against you. That's why you have to train yourself to be able to decode this information so you will not be fooled. Okay? Okay, back to the message. And Soul says, there is a big difference between gut felt and heartfelt. You see this in the image. Again, if you are listening to this podcast, make sure to go to the video because you can see the image. Thank you. Okay, back to the message. There is a big difference between gut felt and heartfelt. The ego structure will do its best so you won't recur to me, the soul, for guidance. Yet this is entirely up to you to choose whose counseling you go by. I am you, you are me, says soul. We are one. The counseling of your soul will always be the accurate response to any situation, even the toughest. Align your heart and mind. Bring the energy of all your chakras into your heart and focus on the best possible outcome for everyone. You are loved. That's a message from soul. Okay, let's take a look at the next card, which is the Genius card. And this is all about expansion, really. And let's see what ego says about, and look at this picture. When it comes to ego, we can see the person, looking everywhere. It's always outside. The emphasis, the focus is outside. That's what ego will lead you to do. Let's see what ego says. My game is to divert your attention outward when it comes to growth or expansion. I will tell you that your growth, your expansion depends on others, so you missed out on the greatest tools and potentials that lies deep within yourself. You are the one to recognize yourself for who you are and not fall for my games. That's what ego says. And remember when we shared about soul-based key number 4, and we talk about discernment, and we talk about how important it is for you to be able to differentiate whether if it's your soul talking to you or your ego talking to you. So I want to hear the message from ego is ego will want you to look outward, and ego will make you compare yourself with everybody else. And we talked about that when we share about key number 5, authenticity. Okay, let's go back to the messages. Let's see what soul says about your genius. Innately, you are a genius. Okay? And the message here is that growth, which is really expansion, is an inner business. It's not outward, it's inside. Soul says, beloved, think of growth as an expansion from inside out, not the other way around. Growth means the actualization of your full potential, which is your genius. And that requires perseverance, self-belief, faith, This is not blind faith, real faith. Patience, courage, and the determination to keep going when you may be tempted, to be happy just with the speck of your potential. Work firmly, watching the ego structure. You have genius, and this genius doesn't come from outside. It's already in you. So your business, it's about expanding that genius. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to serving, for example, in a business, in somebody else's business, in a corporation, even in your family setting, it's about you really expanding your genius, because that genius always is there to serve others. You serve yourself by you expressing that genius, and that genius definitely goes on and benefit others. Okay, good. Okay, and then this is actually quite interesting because it is so fascinating to see how these messages actually, they just weave with each other. This is the other message that Byron picked for you, and this is about the gift that you are and how ego makes you look at your own gift through the ego lenses, making you think that it's never enough. When really your gift it's already enough. That's it. Okay, let's see what ego says. Well, your gift is good, but it is a big but. You should somehow decorate it. Get some more goodies to make it look bigger, better, juicier, more attractive, to make it more sellable. Actually, your gift is not enough. What about you go and search about what others are doing in your field? Perhaps you need more ideas, more clarity. And you can see here how actually ego, it's there. You know, when you are not trusting yourself, and then you start looking outside to validate, say, your idea. Look, one thing is actually to do research so that you know that you are actually really delivering something that is, say, needed in the market. But when you fall for just comparing yourself and making yourself feel or making yourself think, right? Following the ego's game, that is not enough, then you know that ego it's there. Okay? Ego is there tripping you. And ego says, dude, seriously, wake up. Are you going to keep on believing in my lies? Wake up or miss the boat. Okay? Get rid of these lenses. Okay, and Soul says about your gift. Soul says, beloved, you came to give your gift. You didn't come to be transcendental or bombastic in your endeavors. Looking to decorate your gift is nothing more than an ego's game that keeps you trapped in zero action or little action. Did you know that the sacred task you agreed to fulfill in the form of a gift, or your gift, can be assigned to someone else, and someone willing? Perhaps not as equipped as you, but willing. That is the difference that draws support from all divine realms to materialize what you came to materialize here on Gaia. That's the message from Soul. So it's about really not just trusting, but it's actually for you to know. There is a big difference between knowing and believing. So it's about you really knowing that whatever you came to give as a gift in this lifetime, it's enough. You don't need to decorate any of that. Okay. And yeah, wonder actually what these messages and these keys, how they weave together, which key and which message. Well, they all work together. So just go back to them and check. Okay, let's go to, this is the fifth card, set of cards that you got. And this is about the rat race. Look at this. Let's see what ego says about rat race. It says, the process of dehumanizing the human being isn't done just from our side, the ego side. Yes, the ego structure has a heck of a lot to do with the rat race set up for you. However, you are also a key element in the race. Your unconscious participation is a personal choice. Think about it. This rat race is the perfect scenario to divert you from your true intentions, purpose, and divinity. How much longer are you going to keep on playing? This is a big question for you to ponder upon, and please really take time in silence to ask yourself this question and really get to the answer. If you are in this current moment, if you are so-called engaged or trapped in this rat race, even if you are an entrepreneur, you may be on rat race, not because you are independent and you're not working for somebody else. It doesn't mean that you are not here. You may be here. So just think about it, ponder upon it. We are here to support you. Be free, truly free. Okay, let's see what Soul says about the rat race. Dehumanize the human, they say. How aware are you of this hidden agenda and distortion? Did you know that out of many human races, you belong to the few ones that have the divine within? Big question to us. It's a big question to ask yourself. Do you get to understand how precious you truly are? Do you take on embodiment to play a silly game, for example, the rat race? Are you a rat to be experimented with? Embrace yourself, hold up your dignity, and connect with your soul. That's what Soul says. Because if you look at this image, you can really see this person. It's actually creating this rat race by thoughts. We are creators and we create with our thinking. Thoughts are magnetic. We create reality through our thoughts. So do we really have to participate in this? Can we create another kind of reality for ourselves? Of course we can. And we can do it together. Okay. And the last message that came to match these soul-based keys is actually about love. This is just perfect because key number 6 is to be love, to be the vibration of love, which is the energy that holds existence. Anything that exists because of love. And quite interestingly, the cards that Byron picked for you, it's about this. Mother love. Okay, let's read about ego message. It says, as the master of the seed, I will do my best to put you against who gave you life. Of course, your mother made mistakes, and perhaps because of them, you may have suffered. My game is to keep you in the loop of suffering by mentally reenacting or simply remembering her mistakes, or simply by making you block her and disengage from her, because she is a source of blessings in your life. I will tell you, you are, or you have forgiven her when you have not, or I will ensure you just don't let go. You choose. This also applies in the case of your father, mother, father, They are source of life for us. So when we are not receiving the blessings, especially that our mother can give us, we can create a lot of suffering in our lives. Let's see what Soul says about this message. Beloved, like any mother, your mother wasn't born a mother, meaning that your mother wasn't trained to be a mother. On her path, she made mistakes as well as she created wonderful opportunities for you. To quietly or unconsciously continuing to reject her for her mistakes is like keeping yourself tied to a reality you do not wish to experience in your life. She is as human as you are. Embrace your mother and all that she is and she is not. Open up to receive her blessings and live with more joy, ease, grace, and abundance. Let go. So as I mentioned, this message can also apply to your father. So, and if you already watched episode number 7, and if you haven't, highly recommend you that you watch. And we share key number 6, which is be loved. Byron mentioned about the tremendous amount of love that a parent requires to raise a child. It is amazing. There's so much love required to raise children. Even if you weren't raised by your own mother, father, perhaps you were raised by your grandparents or another family member, or maybe by your older, siblings, or a total stranger. That person raised you with love, because love is required to be selfless and to be of service, to have compassion, empathy. So that's what these cards talk about, beloved. So when it comes to your creation, your endeavors, that also requires love. So when you are in tune with love, because at any given time, you got to choose. You got to be conscious about this. So when you choose wisely to be in the resonance of love and you create your reality from that resonance, you will generate a completely different scenario. And to exercise that love, of course, you got to be authentic. You got to be discerning. You got to be really switched on to your intuition, being present and having equanimity at the mental, emotional level. So I wonder, how can these keys to soul freedom and the messages that we got from soul and ego, how does this make a difference in your life? How does this make a difference in your business, in your endeavors? Also as a parent, right? Because you are guiding others, not just your family. Perhaps you're also guiding teams, you're guiding other people. So make sure that you leave your comments below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you're welcome to subscribe, give thumbs up, share the video. So we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next. Lots of love. Ciao, ciao.